The title for discussion is, What does a picture of Jesus Christ represent? And the subtitle is Images of Jesus Christ, Representation versus Spiritual Reality. Now, in a quiet town, there was a small church that had stood for many years. Inside the church, several paintings and drawings of Jesus Christ hung on the walls. Some pictures showed Jesus with light skin and long brown hair. Other pictures showed him with darker skin and features that resembled different cultures around the world. One afternoon, a group of students gathered in the church for a Bible study lesson. As they sat in the room, they began looking at the different pictures of Jesus on the walls. A young student named Daniel raised his hand and asked the teacher, "What does a picture of Jesus Christ really represent? And why do all these pictures look different?" The teacher smiled and walked toward the pictures. After looking at them carefully, he turned to the students and began to explain. "A picture of Jesus Christ," he said, "is a human attempt to represent him in a physical form. The Bible teaches us that Jesus Christ was born into the world as a human being. In the Gospel of Matthew it says, 'And she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Jesus, for he shall save his people from their sins.' This tells us that Jesus came into the world like other humans, born of a woman, but with a divine purpose." The students listened carefully. "Because Jesus lived on earth," the teacher continued, "many artists throughout history have tried to imagine what he might have looked like. People from different cultures often paint Jesus with features that resemble their own communities. Some pictures show him looking European, others Middle Eastern, African, or from other cultural backgrounds." One student asked, "So, which picture is the real one?" The teacher paused for a moment before answering. "The truth is that no one today knows exactly what Jesus looked like. But the most important thing is not his physical appearance. What matters is who he is and what he did for humanity." He then opened the Bible again and read from the book of Isaiah. "For he shall grow up before him as a tender plant, and as a root out of a dry ground. He hath no form nor comeliness, and when we shall see him, there is no beauty that we should desire him." The teacher explained that the Bible reminds believers not to focus on outward appearance. Jesus' mission was not about physical beauty or images, but about bringing salvation, truth, and hope to the world. Jesus Christ laid down his life for people of every nation, culture, and background, the teacher said. That means his message belongs to everyone. Daniel looked again at the pictures on the wall. For the first time, he realized that each painting was only a representation created by human imagination. Then the teacher continued with another important teaching. "However," he said, "we must also be careful not to become confused or spiritually distracted by images. In the Old Testament, God warned his people about worshiping images or idols." He turned to the book of Exodus and read, "Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God." Exodus 20 verses 4-5, KJV. The teacher looked at the students and explained the meaning. This commandment teaches us that we should never worship images, pictures, or statues. A picture of Jesus is not Jesus himself. It should never become something we bow to, pray to, or place above the Word of God. The room became very quiet as the students thought about the lesson. To truly know Jesus Christ, the teacher continued, we must focus on his teachings and the Word of God, not on physical images. He then read from the Epistle to the Ephesians, "Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil." And he added another verse, "Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might." The teacher explained that true faith is built through studying the scriptures, developing Christian integrity, and living according to God's principles. Before the students left, the teacher shared one final thought. Pictures, images, and symbols serve only as reminders that Jesus came to earth as a human being, but he said, but they should never replace the truth found in the Word of God. To truly know Christ, we must study the scriptures and live according to his teachings. He then quoted from the second epistle to Timothy, "Study to shew thyself approved unto God, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. As the students walked out of the church that day, they looked once more at the pictures on the walls. They understood something new. The pictures were not meant to define Jesus' appearance. They were simply reminders created by people trying to understand him. The true understanding of Jesus Christ, the spiritual reality, was not found in paint, drawings, or statues, but in faith, obedience, and the living Word of God. And from that day forward, whenever Daniel saw a picture of Jesus, he remembered that the truest image of Christ was not found on a wall, but in the life he lived and in the lives of those who follow his teachings. Sparkles.